Item F, consider an ordinance of the City of Emeryville amending adding Chapter 26 to Title 5 of the Emeryville Municipal Code relating to the protection of one's right to breathe fresh air through the regulation of smoking in designated and closed public places and workplaces.
I move approval emphatically as a first reading.
Second.
Does anyone wish to speak on this?
Mayor Pekoski, members of the council, I'm Carolyn Bodat, 244 Mountain Place, Clayton, representing the Smoking Action Coalition, and our address is the American Lung Association in the City of Oakland. I simply wanted to bring to your city manager some materials that I spoke with him about on the phone. It might be helpful to business people and as to notification and if you pass this ordinance and as to policies, how to set them up and so forth. We have an abundance of materials and the coalition certainly stands ready to assist in any way we can when hopefully this ordinance is passed. We have many more materials and I'm just bringing some for your city manager this evening and wanted to express our willingness and readiness to assist. Thank you. Also to answer any questions that you may have.
In other cities, is this generally where the services of two or more persons are employed in a workplace?
Yes, that is standard language.
Okay, that's it.
One thing staff would like to add is, or mention, is that other than changing County to Emeryville where appropriate, there has been one change we did make at the staff level, and that is we added an exempted category of business, and that being card rooms. And we treat card rooms like bars, so this will not apply to them.
Let me ask you a question. No. You know, I'm only going to be in the cabaret business another few weeks here, but wouldn't it be appropriate to add cabarets to this too?
We have only one other cabaret in town, and that's a short-term use as well. Not sure. Let me defer that, please.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, my concern would be that is often a place where food is served, and it puts it back into the arena that this ordinance intends to protect. So I think that it would be my recommendation that the same ordinance apply to a cabaret because of the presence of food. If it did not have the beverages and food served, then it would put it in the category of a bar, and again, that is exempted from the application of this ordinance.
Okay, no problem. Anybody else? I don't know about that. Sorry.
Stuart Flashman, 1063 48th Street. I spoke in favor of this ordinance when it was discussed last council meeting. I wanted to reiterate my support for it. I just had one question in terms of the exemption for card rooms. At least one of the card rooms, the Oak Club, has, as part of the card room, a restaurant facility. I wonder what's the provision for that? Is that considered a separate facility, or is that part of the card room in terms of the exemption?
Yeah, but it's right in the same room as the bar.
Well, it's separate. It's also, the restaurant facility is connected to the bar, which by the card room ordinance requires a separation, and there's no walking back and forth by the patrons with the drinks, for example. So we feel there's no separation there.
In terms of something that's a bar and restaurant, is that covered by the ordinance, or is that exempt?
Example would be Oaks.
The Oaks,
Service.
I think the number of other restaurants have restaurant and bar.
If I can speak to that, I already read the ordinance and counted my seats. I have less than 50 seats in my restaurant, which I believe was part of the ordinance there.
Brenda? If you had 50 seats, would you take 2 seats out?
Linda Jones, 4230 Adeline, and also employee of the city. I just have one question. First off, in our MOU with Local 90 and the city,
it designates in there that there is supposed to be designated non-smoking areas. Now, is that going to be, we have to go back and renegotiate our MOU on this particular point? And will there be smoking areas?
On the road.
Huh?
On the road.
On the road? I just have to have my cigarette.
We need legal counsel on this. Does an ordinance supersede an MOU? Or
Well, I think they dovetail. Actually, the MOU calls for designations in areas and as well as the provisions of the ordinance.
If I could speak on this, what happened in San Francisco with the start, there was a big furor about how this was going to work. And it has worked out quite well in San Francisco. There was some trouble to start with, but most of the companies were able to work out arrangements so everybody was satisfied. I think we can see the same thing here.
Well, we have to work it out among ourselves anyway, because where they put me now, it does bother people, but the way I do it, it doesn't. But I just wanted to know how it affects.
The only time that the staff, the police department, or anybody else is going to get involved with this is on complaints. So if no complaints are forthcoming from businesses, it's not evident to the police and police can say it's not going to be a problem. I think this will work out quite well.
Okay.
Lucille?
Repair for the Emeryville Margate, Canton Drive. I'm very much in favor of person for non-smoking, so I'm definitely for this passage. However, I've seen public places, and living at Watergate is a private place, but our Clipper Club, I don't want to go back and have some argument about it. Doesn't apply to Watergate, like a place like Watergate, does it, or does it not?
I believe it wouldn't. Watergate's a private club.
I don't know.
I don't know. Mark?
It's 2,100 residents there. And it's a pretty good size.
I think you said that.
They have a liquor license.
Yeah, they have a liquor license. And we pay bridge.
I can tell you that there are going to be a lot of these examples that are going to be coming up, and I will just caution council, having gone through this experience in another city, that it does take some staff time on this, and to anticipate certain delays in those timeframes are in the ordinance in order to enforce such regulations.
Public and private assembly rules.
I believe that the section that would apply, or you may want to try to apply to Clipper Club would be section 6-11.03A on page 2, and that reads all enclosed areas available to and customarily used by the general public and all businesses patronized by the public, including but not limited to, and it gives some examples, and I don't think that the Clipper Club would fit within that definition.
How about E?
I'm sorry?
E?
Museum, gallery?
They still, I know there are,
Don't think so.
excuse me, there are times when they do rent that out, too.
Do you know what we could do? We could actually have the city attorney write an opinion about the Clipper Club and give him a chance to research it. So
I agree that this is not an ordinance that's going to stand statically on the books. I think that as these situations come up, staff will be bringing to adjustments, take care of these things.
So we'll see. I'll get you that thing.
Thank you for your consideration.
My pleasure. Tom?
Well, that was the point that Mark just made that I was going to say also, is that I think there's going to be a lot of exceptions and peculiarities here that we're going to have to take care of regarding this ordinance. And that probably only its implementation over a period of 6 months to 9 months is going to really show what those are. And at that time, we may even have to come back with an amendment. But we have to get it in place first in order to find out.
I think it's important that council knows that this is a non-smoking ordinance and gives preference to non-smokers. That's the key thing and the overriding regulation that you would be looking at in the enforcement of this provision.
I'd like to ask the chair to call the question, please.
Call the roll, please.
We need a motion.
It was a motion.
Councilmembers Davis? Aye.